What's the biggest mistake candidates make when they begin SEAL training?
Gosh, the biggest mistake I think beginning SEAL training is to think that or expect that they're not going to fail and fail often and fail miserably. And I think this is where the people who don't make it, they present themselves rather quickly. Those folks who, and they may be top performers in other aspects of their lives or up until they got to SEAL training. But what SEAL training does is it puts you down to zero right away, immediately. And it says, okay, now that you have nothing, what do you have now? What can you do? And interesting thing, in when I was going through BUDS, which again, for the audience, you've had enough SEALs on here, so the audience probably knows, but basic underwater demolition / SEAL training. It's the 6-month course where regular Navy guys go to become SEALs. 90% attrition rate, roughly. And I remember being in BUDS, and there was an evolution called surf passage where you had to paddle your rubber boats up onto these rocks. It's actually rock portage. Surf passage is going on. Rock portage. I had to paddle and land your boat on these very jagged rocks, right outside the Hotel Del Coronado, by the way. That's why people at the Hotel will gather on the beach to watch this thing. Very tricky, very dangerous, and you have to do it the right way, and instructors are yelling at you the whole time. And I remember us doing this, and I was the boat crew leader because I was the officer, and we did it once, we did it poorly, we got yelled at. We went out, did it again, did it poorly, got yelled at, did it a third time, did it poorly again. And it was actually, we were landing, it was a particular instructor that just was hammering us and me quite deliberately. And I remember after that third time, he relieved me as boat crew commander. He said, "You're not boat crew commander anymore. You're going to be just a paddle. You just do the paddling." And I remember after that, I was super depressed. I was like, I didn't know if I should be there. I was just kind of, moping a little bit. And I remember, it was after the evolution, I was sitting on some bleachers by myself, just feeling sorry for myself. And a buddy of mine walked up. He said, "Hey, Rich, what's wrong?" I said, "Well," and I told him the story. He was an officer as well. He said, "Rich, you got to understand, the ball's always bouncing, and sometimes it bounces on you. It just happens, right? Sometimes the instructors, it's inevitable that the instructor's going to have a day where they just pick on you. That's what's going to happen. So just get over it." And that lesson was pivotal. Now, I think I would have learned it anyway, but I learned it really very viscerally that day. And I think the mistake that a lot of guys make is that they don't think that's going to happen. They expect things to go their way. They expect to do well on the runs. They expect to do well on the swims. They expect to do this or that. It's just not going to happen. You're going to fail. You're going to feel like crap. You're going to feel miserable. You're going to be bottom of the class at some point. You're going to be the guy who's being picked on by the instructors. And once you get that into your thick skull, that this is what they're doing, is they're representing not only life, but combat, the life in combat, you start to say, okay, all right, now I'm going to just charge forth. So
it's a great metaphor for life, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.